Imagine waking up every day knowing you have control over your destiny, not controlled by fear, not by other people, not by circumstances. The first secret to winning life is mastering your mindset. When we talk about winning life, the very first battlefield is not in the boardroom, not in the market, not in the streets, but inside your own mind. Every struggle you face, every challenge that seems impossible, every moment of doubt or fear begins in your thoughts. Your mindset, the way you perceive yourself, your abilities, and the world around you is the foundation upon which every decision, every action, and every outcome is built. Imagine two people with the same circumstances, the same opportunities, and the same resources, yet one succeeds beyond measure while the other struggles endlessly. The difference is not luck, and it is not talent alone. It is mindset. It is the ability to control your own mind, to rise above negativity, to refuse to be trapped by fear, and to choose optimism even when the world seems determined to push you down. Mastering your mindset is not something that happens overnight. It is a conscious, daily commitment to training yourself, to shaping your thoughts like a sculptor shapes clay, to intentionally decide what occupies your mind, because the quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. You see, life does not care about excuses. Life does not pause for complaints, and life does not reward hesitation. Opportunities pass by those who linger in doubt or who allow themselves to be consumed by worry, resentment, or envy. Yet, those who master their mindset understand that setbacks are temporary, that criticism is often a reflection of others' limitations rather than your own, and that failures are not a permanent label, but a stepping stone toward growth. When your mind becomes your ally rather than your adversary, you stop being a victim of circumstances and start being a creator of possibilities. This means learning to recognize destructive patterns of thought and replacing them with empowering beliefs. It means refusing to let one failure define you, refusing to let one rejection diminish your self-worth, and refusing to let the opinions of others dictate your direction. Every time you tell yourself that something is impossible, you are building a wall between you and your potential. Every time you embrace challenges as opportunities to grow, you are expanding the boundaries of what you can achieve. Life does not reward those who wait for perfection. It rewards those who act decisively, learn relentlessly, and maintain unwavering belief in themselves even when the path is uncertain. Part of mastering your mindset is also learning to focus, because the mind is easily distracted by noise, by gossip, by comparisons, and by fear. The world is full of people who specialize in wasting time, in questioning your ability, and in convincing you that you are not enough. And if you let these voices dominate your mind, you will never experience the life you are capable of creating. Focus is the ultimate tool of the mind, the ability to direct your energy toward what truly matters, to block out distractions, and to invest your thoughts in actions that produce results. People with mastery over their mindset understand that failure is inevitable, but discouragement is optional. They understand that life will not always be easy, that challenges will appear in forms that test patience, resilience, and courage, but that the way they respond to these challenges defines their ultimate trajectory. Emotional control is another cornerstone of a powerful mindset. It is not about suppressing feelings, it is about recognizing them, understanding them, and refusing to let negative emotions dictate actions. Anger, fear, and frustration are natural, but if they drive your decisions, they will steer your life off course. Those who win life understand that emotions are like weather. They will come and go, but your response is a choice. You can allow emotions to cloud your judgment, or you can acknowledge them, learn from them, and then act with clarity and purpose. Furthermore, mastering your mindset requires a vision that goes beyond short-term gains and immediate gratification. It requires the ability to see your life as a long journey, to invest in habits that may not bring immediate results, but will compound over time into extraordinary outcomes. Discipline, perseverance, and a commitment to continuous learning are all expressions of a strong mindset, because they reflect the understanding that the mind must be trained like a muscle, exercised daily, and strengthened through challenges. Another crucial aspect of mastering your mindset is the ability to cultivate gratitude and positivity. A mind that focuses only on what it lacks will always feel inadequate, while a mind that recognizes growth, opportunity, and progress will attract more of what it seeks. Gratitude does not mean ignoring difficulties. It means acknowledging what is already working, what lessons have been learned, and what potential still exists. It is a lens through which even hardship can become a teacher and a motivator rather than a source of despair. People who master their mindset also understand the power of self-belief. They are aware that the most influential voice they will ever hear is their own, and if they speak with doubt, hesitation, and fear, their actions will reflect that. But when they cultivate confidence rooted in preparation, learning, and resilience, they act decisively, inspire others, and navigate uncertainty with calm determination. Life will test you relentlessly, and moments will come when giving up seems easier than pushing forward, when the noise of criticism is louder than the whisper of your purpose. In those moments, a trained mindset becomes a fortress, a source of unwavering strength that refuses to surrender. Every great achievement begins in the mind before it manifests in reality, and the more you master your inner world, the more unstoppable your outer world becomes. When we speak about wealth, many people immediately think of numbers, bank accounts, luxury, and status, but true wealth has nothing to do with the digits on a screen or the size of your possessions. True wealth is created through value, through the ability to contribute, solve problems, and improve the lives of others in a way that is meaningful and lasting. Money, while important, is only a reflection of the value you bring into the world. And those who focus solely on chasing money will discover that wealth without purpose is empty, fleeting, and unfulfilling. To build real wealth, you must shift your mindset from thinking about what you can take to thinking about what you can give, from worrying about short-term gain to investing in long-term impact, from seeking recognition to creating solutions that matter. Every successful entrepreneur, every visionary, and every person who has built lasting financial stability did so by identifying a need, a problem, or a gap, and then committing themselves to solve it better, faster, or smarter than anyone else. Wealth does not favor those who wait for opportunities to appear magically. It favors those who create opportunities through action, innovation, and perseverance. When you focus on providing value first, money becomes a natural byproduct of your effort. And what is remarkable about this process is that it produces not only financial reward, but also personal fulfillment, influence, and freedom. One of the most important lessons in building wealth is to understand that the world will always reward those who contribute more than they consume. If your energy, your skills, your knowledge, and your time are devoted to improving the lives of others, to solving problems that people genuinely care about, the universe has a way of returning that effort multiplied. Every product, every service, every idea that succeeds in the marketplace has done so because it has added value to someone's life, made their work easier, made their problems smaller, or their dreams closer. People often underestimate the power of small contributions. They think that only large, groundbreaking ideas can create wealth. But in reality, consistent, incremental improvements that genuinely help others can build fortunes over time. The key is not to chase money blindly, but to chase mastery, excellence, and understanding of the needs around you. When you do this, money follows almost automatically, not as a primary objective, but as a natural reflection of the positive impact you are creating. Wealth also requires patience because value is rarely recognized instantly. The world can be slow to reward effort, and results do not appear overnight. Many people give up too early, discouraged by temporary setbacks, comparing themselves to others who may have started before them or who appear to succeed more quickly. But those who commit to creating real value understand that persistence, consistency, and genuine dedication compound over time. Each small success, each satisfied customer, each improvement in service or product adds up to a foundation that becomes unshakable. Another critical aspect of building wealth is the courage to innovate and take risks. Providing value often requires stepping outside of comfort zones, challenging conventional thinking, and offering solutions that others might initially reject. The fear of failure, the pressure of immediate results, and the weight of skepticism can be overwhelming, but those who persist with conviction and a focus on meaningful contribution often find themselves rewarded far beyond their expectations. Building wealth through value is also about understanding relationships and trust. People want to invest in people they believe in leaders who act with integrity, and in those who demonstrate consistent competence and care. Reputation, credibility, and reliability become assets in themselves because they allow opportunities to flow naturally, partnerships to form, and growth to accelerate. In contrast, chasing money alone without regard for ethics, quality, or service often leads to temporary gains followed by long-term losses. Value-driven wealth is sustainable wealth. It is wealth that endures because it is grounded in the real needs and desires of others, not in empty speculation, fleeting trends, or shortcuts. The more you focus on contributing to the world, the more doors open, the more networks expand, and the more resources become available. Not just financially, but in knowledge, mentorship, and influence. The mindset required to achieve this kind of wealth is one of service, curiosity, and long-term vision. It is a mindset that asks, how can I make life better for someone else, rather than, how can I get rich quickly? It is a mindset that values hard work, discipline, learning, and empathy as much as strategy, skill, and intelligence. Ultimately, the secret to building wealth is understanding that the journey is about more than money. It is about impact, contribution, and the ability to create something that matters in a world that will always reward those who improve it. Money is never the starting point. It is the result of solving real problems, helping people, and consistently providing value that the world cannot ignore. Those who grasp this principle not only achieve financial success, but also discover purpose, respect, and the kind of fulfillment that cannot be measured in numbers alone. By committing yourself to this principle, to building value relentlessly and serving with intention, you step into a world where wealth becomes an inevitable consequence of your focus, creativity, and determination, and the life you create becomes meaningful not just for you, but for everyone your efforts touch. Words are among the most powerful you possess, more powerful than money, more powerful than technology, and often more powerful than any skill you may acquire. They can build empires or destroy reputations, create opportunities or close doors, inspire movements or silence dreams. Yet, too many people underestimate the influence of the words they speak every single day. They speak without thinking, react without reflection, and communicate without intention, never realizing that the quality of their words shapes the trajectory of their lives and the lives of those around them. To speak with impact is not simply about being articulate or clever. It is about understanding the weight and the consequences of what you say, and using your words to create meaningful connections, inspire action, and reflect your character. Words are not neutral. They carry energy, intention, and influence, and they have the ability to shape the reality of both the speaker and the listener. Consider for a moment how often a single word, a phrase, or a sentence has changed the course of your own life. Perhaps it was a teacher who believed in you when no one else did, a friend who encouraged you when you doubted yourself, or even a stranger whose words gave you clarity, courage, or conviction at a critical moment. Now consider the opposite: how often harsh criticism, careless remarks, or negative gossip has planted doubt, fear, or resentment in your mind. Every interaction you have is an opportunity to leave a lasting impression, and if you underestimate this, you may find yourself unintentionally closing doors, creating conflict, or weakening relationships that could have been your greatest sources of growth. Speaking with impact requires awareness and intention, beginning with self-awareness. You must understand your own emotions, beliefs, and biases before you can communicate effectively. A mind that is clear, focused, and disciplined produces words that are equally precise, deliberate, and constructive. Conversely, a mind clouded by frustration, insecurity, or anger will produce words that harm, confuse, and push others away, even when you think you are speaking honestly or passionately. The first step to mastering your words is to master your own thoughts, because what flows from your mouth is a direct reflection of what resides in your mind. This means training yourself to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, to pause and consider the impact of what you say, and to prioritize clarity over cleverness. People who speak with impact do not seek to impress with empty rhetoric. They aim to communicate with authenticity, purpose, and precision. Another essential principle is listening. Words cannot exist in isolation. They gain power only through understanding and connection. If you speak without listening, your words will often miss the mark. They will fail to resonate, fail to motivate, and fail to build the bridges necessary for meaningful influence. True communicators spend more time listening than speaking, more time observing than judging, and more time seeking understanding than seeking approval. By understanding the needs, values, and perspectives of those around you, your words gain relevance and power because they address real concerns, inspire trust, and foster collaboration. Speaking with impact also requires courage, because honest, meaningful communication often challenges comfort zones, confronts difficult truths, and risks disagreement or criticism. Many people choose silence over confrontation, avoidance over honesty, or politeness over truth, believing that avoiding conflict will keep them safe. Yet, safety is never the pathway to influence or growth. Words spoken with integrity, even when difficult, create respect, demonstrate character, and lay the foundation for trust that cannot be achieved through flattery or appeasement. Every time you choose courage over comfort, your words gain authority, your presence gains weight, and your influence expands. The impact of words extends far beyond the immediate moment. It shapes perceptions, builds reputations, and opens or closes doors in ways that last far longer than any single interaction. Consider leaders, mentors, and influencers you admire. Often, what sets them apart is not just what they do, but how they articulate their vision, how they motivate, how they persuade, and how they inspire action through deliberate, powerful language. Their words are carefully chosen, strategically delivered, and emotionally resonant, capable of moving crowds, influencing decisions, and inspiring generations. This is the same power that lies within your reach if you commit to mastering your words and using them intentionally. Speaking with impact is not about speaking constantly or dominating conversations. It is about speaking deliberately, choosing moments wisely, and ensuring that each word adds value, clarity, or inspiration. Silence, when used strategically, can amplify your message, command attention, and convey thoughtfulness in a way that endless talking cannot. Similarly, simplicity in communication often outweighs complexity. People remember what they understand and feel, not what they struggle to interpret. Your words gain power when they are concise, clear, and heartfelt, because they are easy to absorb, easy to relate to, and capable of sparking action. Beyond clarity and courage, speaking with impact requires empathy. You must be able to feel what others feel, understand what others need, and communicate in a way that resonates with their experiences, fears, and aspirations. Empathetic communication builds bridges that transactional or self-centered words never can. It creates a sense of trust, mutual respect, and shared purpose, and it transforms ordinary conversations into opportunities for influence, motivation, and connection. People often underestimate the ripple effect of their words. A kind word in a moment of doubt can spark confidence. A well-timed encouragement can reignite a dream, and a constructive criticism offered with care can lead to profound improvement. Conversely, careless words can fracture relationships, diminish opportunities, and leave scars that take years to heal. This is why the mastery of words is a lifelong pursuit, requiring reflection, practice, and a commitment to continuous improvement. One must constantly refine not only what they say, but how they say it, the timing, the tone, and the intention behind it. Powerful words require alignment between thought, emotion, and delivery. They require authenticity because people instinctively detect when words are hollow or insincere. Authenticity in communication fosters credibility, loyalty, and respect, while empty or manipulative words breed suspicion, resentment, and disengagement. Moreover, the mastery of words is deeply connected to the way you live your life. Your actions must match your words, because nothing diminishes the impact of speech faster than hypocrisy or inconsistency. A leader who inspires with words but fails to demonstrate the same principles in action will lose influence, trust, and authority. Conversely, a person whose actions reflect their words amplifies their message, because every deed becomes evidence, every achievement becomes validation, and every consistency reinforces credibility. In addition, speaking with impact requires vision. Words without direction are like arrows shot without aim. They may travel far, but they rarely hit the target. A clear vision allows you to articulate ideas with purpose, to motivate others toward shared goals, and to create alignment between intention and execution. Those who inspire through words are often those who have clarity in thought, passion in expression, and a vivid sense of what they are working toward. They understand that words are not merely tools for expression, but instruments of influence, capable of shaping decisions, transforming environments, and guiding others toward greater potential. Emotional resonance is equally crucial. Facts and logic alone may persuade the mind, but words that connect with the heart move people to action. Stories, metaphors, and personal experiences are among the most powerful ways to deliver a message that sticks Because humans are wired to relate to emotions and experiences, not just abstract ideas. By combining clarity, courage, empathy, authenticity, vision, and emotional resonance, your words gain unmatched power to transform the lives of others while simultaneously shaping your own life. The journey to speaking with impact is not easy, and it is not instantaneous. It requires patience, reflection, and intentionality. It demands that you recognize the value of every word, that you understand the responsibility it carries, and that you commit yourself to continuous improvement. When mastered, words become more than communication. They become instruments of influence, vehicles of leadership, tools for change, and bridges between vision and reality. Wisdom is the invisible force that transforms knowledge and experience into insight, understanding, and meaningful action. Yet it is often misunderstood as simply knowing facts or accumulating information. True wisdom goes beyond intelligence. It is the ability to see the world clearly, to discern patterns in life's chaos, to learn from experiences both pleasant and painful, and to apply those lessons in ways that lead to better decisions, stronger relationships, and a more meaningful existence. Without wisdom, knowledge is scattered, experience is wasted, and action becomes aimless. Wisdom is not given, it is earned, cultivated, and refined through deliberate practice, reflection, and the courage to learn from every circumstance, whether triumphant or challenging. The first step toward developing wisdom is embracing a mindset of continuous learning. The world is constantly changing, and those who stop learning stagnate while those who remain curious, inquisitive, and open-minded grow. Learning is not limited to formal education or structured programs. It occurs in conversations, in observations, in failures, and even in moments of solitude when we reflect on our choices. A wise person understands that every interaction, every experience, and every setback carries a lesson, and the ability to extract that lesson separates those who repeat mistakes from those who evolve. Humility is a critical companion to learning because wisdom begins with the recognition that we do not have all the answers. Those who believe they are infallible close themselves off from growth, while those who admit ignorance open the doors to discovery. True wisdom requires the courage to say, "I don't know, but I am willing to learn," and to approach every situation with the mindset of a student, ready to absorb insight from unexpected sources, even from those who may seem less experienced or less accomplished. Reflection is the second essential component of wisdom, because knowledge without contemplation is like a seed planted in barren soil. It has the potential to grow but cannot flourish. Reflection allows us to pause, examine our actions, consider their consequences, and extract meaning from our successes and failures alike. It is the deliberate act of analyzing decisions, questioning assumptions, and seeking patterns that guide better choices in the future. People often rush through life, chasing goals without pausing to reflect on the lessons embedded in each step. They measure success by speed, quantity, or external validation rather than by understanding, insight, and growth. Wisdom demands patience, because insight requires time to develop and clarity cannot be rushed. Reflection turns experience into understanding, and understanding becomes the foundation for thoughtful action. Acting wisely is the final and perhaps most crucial aspect of cultivating wisdom. Knowledge and reflection are meaningless if they do not translate into decisions and behaviors that improve our lives and the lives of others. Action, guided by insight, is what transforms potential into results, ideas into reality, and dreams into achievements. Yet action must be deliberate, informed, and aligned with long-term goals, because impulsive or poorly considered choices often negate the value of even the deepest insights. A wise person does not act simply to react or to satisfy immediate desires. They act with intention, foresight, and integrity. They weigh options, consider consequences, and choose paths that align with both principles and purpose. The pursuit of wisdom also requires resilience and courage, because gaining insight often comes through adversity. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable, but those who approach difficulties as opportunities for learning develop the perspective necessary to navigate complexity and uncertainty. Each setback becomes a lesson, each failure a guidepost, and each challenge a test of discernment and strength. Wisdom is forged in these moments, in the quiet understanding that life's trials are not punishments, but instruments of growth, and that the decisions we make in the face of adversity define who we are more than our successes ever could. Another dimension of wisdom is emotional intelligence. the ability to understand, manage, and channel one's emotions in ways that enhance decision-making and relationships. Wisdom is not cold rationality detached from human experience. It is the integration of intellect and emotion, the ability to empathize with others, understand their perspectives, and respond with compassion and insight. Emotional awareness allows us to recognize biases, temper impulsive reactions, and communicate with authenticity and effectiveness. Without emotional intelligence, knowledge and reflection may still lead to mistakes because human interaction is inherently complex and influenced by feelings, perceptions, and social dynamics. A wise person recognizes patterns not only in external circumstances but also within themselves. They understand their strengths, weaknesses, motivations, and triggers, and use this self-awareness to navigate challenges with clarity and confidence. They seek feedback, welcome constructive criticism, and do not allow pride or ego to cloud judgment. In relationships, wisdom manifests as the ability to listen actively, to speak thoughtfully, and to act in ways that foster trust, respect, and collaboration. Those who cultivate wisdom understand that their decisions affect not only their own lives but also the lives of others, and they approach choices with consideration for broader consequences, ethical implications, and long-term impact. Patience is another hallmark of wisdom. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, rushing, and superficial results, those who possess wisdom understand the value of timing, preparation, and sustained effort. They know that meaningful growth, profound understanding, and lasting results cannot be achieved overnight, and they are willing to endure discomfort, uncertainty, and delay in order to achieve outcomes that are deep, durable, and transformative. This patience extends to the understanding of human nature, recognizing that people grow at different rates, learn through different experiences, and respond to challenges in diverse ways. Wisdom is also closely tied to perspective, the ability to see beyond immediate circumstances, to recognize the transient nature of difficulties, and to focus on what truly matters in the long term. A wise individual can distinguish between urgent and important matters, between fleeting distractions and enduring priorities, and between superficial victories and substantive progress. Perspective allows them to remain calm under pressure, make decisions with clarity, and inspire confidence in others even in turbulent times. Furthermore, wisdom involves the courage to make difficult choices, to act ethically when it is inconvenient, and to embrace responsibility when the easier path would be avoidance. The most challenging decisions often carry the greatest opportunity for growth, influence, and lasting positive impact, and a wise person does not shy away from responsibility or accountability. They understand that true leadership and personal mastery are rooted in the ability to choose rightly, act decisively, and accept the consequences of those choices with grace and integrity. The pursuit of wisdom is a lifelong journey. Because the world is constantly evolving, new experiences continually present themselves, and learning never truly ends. Those who stop seeking understanding stagnate, while those who embrace curiosity, reflection, and deliberate action continue to grow, adapt, and thrive in the face of change. Wisdom requires an open mind, a humble heart, and a disciplined approach to integrating knowledge into meaningful action. It is not measured by degrees, titles, or accolades, but by the depth of insight, the quality of decisions, and the positive influence one has on life, both personal and collective. True wisdom also inspires others because people are drawn to those who act with clarity, understanding, and integrity. By embodying wisdom, you create an environment where others feel empowered, guided, and supported to learn, reflect, and act as well. In this way, wisdom is not just an individual pursuit, it is a force that ripples outward, transforming communities, organizations, and societies over time. Finally, wisdom is intimately connected to purpose. Knowledge without direction, reflection without application, and action without intention are all incomplete. A wise person aligns their learning, reflection, and decisions with a clear sense of purpose, a vision for their life, and a commitment to impact. This alignment ensures that every lesson learned, every moment of contemplation, and every choice made contributes to a life of meaning, fulfillment, and influence, allowing them not only to navigate the complexities of life with confidence, but also to leave a legacy that endures long after immediate circumstances have passed. Winning life is not about luck, privilege, or fleeting circumstances. It is about mastery, intention, and action. It is about controlling your mind, creating value, speaking with purpose, and living with wisdom. Life rewards those who refuse to be passive, those who see challenges as opportunities, those who understand that true wealth comes from contribution, that words are instruments of influence, and that wisdom is the bridge between knowledge and meaningful action. Every day presents a choice to drift with the current of life or to steer your own course with courage, clarity, and conviction. By mastering your mindset, you free yourself from fear and doubt. By building wealth through value, you create a life of abundance that transcends money. By speaking with impact, you influence, inspire, and connect. And by embracing wisdom, you ensure that your actions are thoughtful, your decisions are sound, and your journey leaves a legacy that matters. Remember, the path to greatness is not a secret hidden in fortune or fame. It is a journey shaped by every thought you cultivate, every word you speak, every lesson you embrace, and every step you take with purpose. Choose today to live intentionally, to act boldly, to speak meaningfully, and to grow endlessly, because life, wealth, words, and wisdom are all within your reach, but only if you are willing to claim them.